it hurt regular people like no other bubble burst in the history of the modern American economy, other than, of course, the Great Depression. Because this money that was in the system was not just in the hands of banks and investors. It was not just in the hands of the supply side of our demand-supply equation. This was money that was in the hands of regular people, because what were they doing? They were buying homes. They were starting to invest in the stock market. That's really what, when we get spikes in volume, when regular people open up E-Trade accounts and start doing their own trading. So the money that was actually being propagated out to the broader number created a sense of wealth among regular people, who then pumped the money in the economy, but did not necessarily cause the sort of inflation that we often see with this sort of spike in cash. Now, there's nothing that multiplies wealth like regular people having disposable cash. The housing industry has probably one of the biggest multiplier effects of all areas of the economy. You know, I'm not here to talk politics or to say one side is right, the other side is right. Really, I think they're all crazy. But one thing that I think is a tactical mistake by a lot of people on the left when they talk about housing, they generally talk about it from a feel-good perspective. Oh, everyone should have their own house. It makes you feel good. It makes you feel like you've achieved something. It's nice. Yeah, okay. But if that's the whole argument, that's weak. The more important argument, and the more significant argument, in my opinion, is what ancillary benefits come from broad homeownership. During the bubble, part of the bubble, it kind of demonstrated part of it. Money in the system. When that money was taken out of the system, we saw it in the effects on houses. Because when that money was out there, it financed the construction of millions of homes. Literally, millions. It financed the ability to start businesses. Many of you probably want to start a business when you get out here. How many want to start a business when you get out here? Okay, a few. Handful. I'm going to give you a sad piece of information. Very sad piece of information. There's no such thing as a small business loan to start a new business from scratch. No such thing. And you know what? There never has been. You always have had to have, and especially when you're using the business world a lot, skin in the game. Generally, for most people, the skin they put in the game is the equity in their home. Guess what happened to that over the last 5 years? But while it was high, people could use that business, that equity, collateralize it against an SBA-backed loan, and start a business. Others could go to McDonald's or Quiznos or H&R Block and open up a franchise. Millions of these things happen based on home equity. And of course, once you start opening businesses and opening franchises, millions of jobs come out of that. All of this came out of the A side of the housing bubble. And all of this was lost on the B side. But consumer confidence was at all-time highs. Everything was peachy, and people thought the party was going to go on forever. Now, we know that parties never go on forever. There's always an end, and there's always a cleanup after the end. But it's noteworthy that because of the broad distribution of wealth in this particular bubble, when it popped, the effects of the pain were also broad, far-reaching, and particularly excruciating. It devastated really more wealth than was even created in the process. You know, back on that earlier chart, and if you would look at a more recent chart, like a Case-Shiller index chart, home pricing, the home price index, is actually lower now than where it should have been based on the general 30-year trend line.